Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this breakaway session of the Creative Arts Conference. I have the absolute pleasure and joy of introducing Roxy Levy to you. Roxy studied at UCT. She obtained a fellowship in dance through the IDTA in London. She's also an aerobics instructor, which she also received through ETA. She's the sole director of Roxy Levy School of Dance and Drama. She's directed and choreographed many musicals and achieving multiple awards for all her choreography. She also has coordinated numerous events. And one of those is the entertainment section of the handover of the National Emblem of Arms for Parliament. She's also taught and examined grade 12 learners as well. She's project managed many events for the WCD. She's also written dance studies for textbooks, in dance and drama. She facilitates various dance workshops as well. And currently she is also teaching ballet at UCT. Rox, there's so many wonderful achievements that you have done, but I just want to also mention that she also mentors younger teachers and learners and in their hope and pursuit of passion for the creative arts. Roxy has told us that she's delighted to be here. We are even more delighted to have her, and we look forward to her sharing her knowledge and her wonderful years of experience with everyone. Over to you, Roxy.
Many years of experience. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Pam. And please forgive me for reading some of this, but I am so passionate about what I do that I could go into tomorrow if I'm not careful, and I have a restricted time. So here we go. First of all, what an honor it is to be amongst so many wonderful educators. Game on. Children have such a natural need to play. Reflecting back on your childhood, do you recall the games you used to play? For example, hide and seek, hopscotch, Marco Polo, snakes and ladders, on and on and on. Games are so beneficial to the development of children, enriching their cognitive, physical, social, and general emotional well-being. Despite the many benefits, the amount of time children have to play socially today is declining. Among the reasons are fewer safe places, rising screen time, and firmly structured school schedules. Bringing games into the classroom is now more necessary than ever. It has been noted that playing games in the classroom significantly improves learners' relationships with each other through enhancing communication, improving general class cooperation, and creative trust. But most importantly, playing games certainly improves neurological thinking and effectiveness of the learner's brain. When we play games, we activate and switch on areas of the brain that are used for learning and thinking. But here we go. How do we, in our very limited time we have in our closed classrooms for such activities, stimulate and promote out-the-box thinking? Before even beginning and in preparation for games, to be successfully played, learners will need to be in a stress-free environment. As a facilitator, you need to ensure that there is a way to release any stress so that the process of creativity can be enjoyable. Games should have a definite goal. It is only when games are used consistently that the goals we as teachers wish to achieve can be accomplished. It is through games that learners learn to think differently, unconventionally, and definitely become not only creative thinkers, but natural problem solvers. Again, I reiterate that there needs to be a feeling of fun and joy in the class. It is vital to set as an objective a positive experience for the learner. Always begin the class with some sort of upbeat introduction, a fabulous welcome, which should lend itself to creating an atmosphere of excitement and energy. While my expertise is dance and drama, I do try to integrate all arts. Singing is a fabulous pull-in for learners and teachers. As it is a group activity, there is no intimidation, and even those shy little ones usually partake. In the video I will be sharing with you today, my welcome is a little song, which combines singing movements and ideas from the learners. The song is to the tune of Mary Had a Little Lamb. And while you, as the teacher, starts off by inviting them into this activity, the learners are immediately encouraged to express an activity they would like to do. For example, come with me to Skipping Town, Skipping Town, Skipping Town. Come with me to Skipping Town. It's the place to be. This could then become Rolling Town or Twirling Town. But please ensure that each learner gets to have a turn during the term to give their suggestions. Once your learners are warmed up and stress-free, you can begin to introduce them to games. An interactive and fun game could include using the number 8 to develop movement. For example, using arms and legs to make a figure 8. This is a fabulous way to get both parts of the brain thinking and using what movement kinesiologists call whole brain work. Another example would be to have fun focus games with partners. For example, the nose roll, which will loosen the neck and remove tension. This activity will be demonstrated in my video. It is such a fun thing, and I'm hoping that this will be evident with the children. Once the atmosphere has been set, introduce your theme, but always be aware of your intention and how you can get learners to game up and think out the box. In the grade 3 curriculum, learners are taught about locomotor and non-locomotor movements. To enhance and empower learners, I chose to develop this activity and to integrate into this lesson emotions and feelings. So often, children cannot express why or how they are feeling. They might say they are sad or happy, but they cannot explain why or how. My gaming goal in the class was to really get them to focus on their thoughts, be aware of their feelings and emotions, and how their bodies would respond to those feelings. Creative thinking through role-playing games is an excellent exercise. This is where I ask learners to take on the role of someone else and pretend to be them in a particular situation. They need to think out of themselves and view the situation from a new perspective. This fun activity not only challenges them with a new skill, but it is a great way to boost confidence in themselves, as it is not a competition. There's no winning, there's no losing, there's nobody going out. Let your learners brainstorm about their feelings without any judgment. Ask questions and allow them to think out the box. In the video, I have used two opposing role-playing ideas. They pretend to be an old person and then a 2-year-old. Questions to assist them with the character would be, for example, how does your old person move? Does this old person walk with a stick? Make a noise? What does it sound like? What is the shape of the person? What sort of locomotor movements does your person use? What non-locomotor movements? In summary, what are your thoughts? What are your feelings? And what is your body feeling? They really need to think out the box as they have to transform themselves into these characters. They have to come up with new ideas and new solutions and view the character from their own perspective. Conclude this game by asking, for example, how they felt being that character. Keep your comments minimal and encourage your learners to engage. Again, please ensure that every child has a turn to comment, maybe at the following lesson or at the next activity. The next part of the lesson is what I call not thinking out the box this time, but thinking out the envelope. Integrating visual arts. Each learner was given an envelope to color in either at home or in class. The instruction was to use one color only and to really think about why they chose that particular color. They were asked to bring the envelope to the class and to share with the other learners what that color meant to them. The object was to see if they could develop the process and developing it into really portraying their feeling through discussion and then moving into the body. Again, asking leading questions. What are your thoughts? What are you feeling? And what is your body feeling? And then to say to the learners, now it is time to think about what is inside the envelope. Entice them to think what they might find in the envelope. Maybe your envelope contains a message about a gift you have received. What would you wish to find in your envelope? Inevitably, you will get answers that are truly wishful thinking about monetary gifts or trucks. In order to get the learners to be more imaginative and forward-thinking, throw them with a surprise. In this case, it was a feeling they were going to get from their envelope. Challenge them to look beyond and find unique ways to express these feelings. Again and again and again, empower them with questions about the feeling. Give them time to explore different possibilities and come up with their own ideas as to the feeling of the feeling. Ask them now to create the locomotor and non-locomotor movement to express that feeling. Finally, as a group, perhaps of 4, they could create a movement sentence combining each other's movements. And then allow your learners to leave the class space as upbeat as you welcome them, praising them continuously for their fabulous, fabulous creativity. I'm now going to share the video with you, and I'm hoping that you'll enjoy it. So if you wouldn't mind, please. I love you. Great stuff. Thank you both. And your help to make me feel proud. Roxy, and tell me why it makes you feel proud. Because in a way, it's the color of anger. The color of anger. Good. What kind of what's that? So you felt that raised me feel really angry. Okay, it's your picture. You know, right from inside, walk to each other and your little angry dance. Yes. This is your angry locomotive movement. This is your locomotive for action and for you. Right. So now I want you all to hold your fingers. And I want you to imagine that inside your fingers is a glimpse of imagine inside the fingers. And you have a I want to inside your interest there is not country, but we don't have sex. That's healing. So can you think about those feelings? And you think of a feeling that is inside your envelope today. Silliness and silliness. Oh, that's such fun. She got a silliness feeling. Yes. An exciting feeling. A calm, oh, that's lovely. Okay. So guys, what I want you to do is I want you to think about what are you doing and know that it's your body, how does it fly, or even yourself, maybe feel with your body, that feeling that is found in our envelope, and why they exactly like. And when I put my heart, I want you to take that statue and all that people. And now, can you do that over the emotion that goes with that feeling? So, what do you do next? We gauge in the class today. By sending your friends and all together and hope you enjoy the time. The more we can together, So I do apologize. Apparently the sound didn't come through, but please know that this video is available to anybody who would like it. So we will put it onto.
So we're going to share the link. I have shared Roxy's email address as well. And I'm just loving your comments that are coming through. Rox, there's so many practical ideas. But I'll let you carry on and then we'll share them.
I'm just going to summarize because I think that a lot of what I am going to summarize it. It was interesting that Anne actually had similar things to say, but please, may I ask you to not be shy with your children, just enjoy them. So the first thing that I'm going to ask you to do is to remember always to brainstorm. Encourage free thinking by holding brainstorming sessions where learners can come up with ideas without any judgment. Art and creativity is my second one. Engage them in art activities that encourage creativity and thinking beyond the obvious. I love storytelling, and I just feel that they need to also be encouraged to tell stories. Let their imagination run wild. Role-playing, engage them in role-playing, where they can just think on their feet and come up with creative solutions in different scenarios. Please encourage questions and answers. Nurture a culture of curiosity by encouraging them to ask and answer questions. Exposure to diverse ideas. Introduce them to many ideas through using books, movies, and experiences. And most importantly, as Anne mentioned as well, encourage risk-taking. Support them taking risks and trying new things. This builds resilience and fosters thinking out the box. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Rox. It was really amazing. We apologize about the sound. We will share that with you. And Rox, so a couple of questions, just some comments about crossing the midline. I don't know if there's anything like that that you would like to chat about from your video. Roxy was trying to get us to do some nose movements in the figure of 8 while you were watching that video. There were so many things that I learned, but I don't know if there's anything you'd like to share.
So I think that it's important that children are aware of their midline, hence the figure of 8, so that they come in, they find their midline, they go beyond, and then they come back and find it again. So often with writing, when children go out to the lines, this can be corrected, and occupational therapists have done this. They actually do the figure of 8 to correct that very, very specific a function of the children. And I think that, you know, movement just does so much to enhance what goes on in the classroom.
No, one of the things that I took away from you when you were saying about listen to your body, or your body, how does your body feel? And Megan's just said here in the comments about what she likes to do at the end of the day is to clap hands for themselves of what they've achieved. Yes. And I was just thinking, like, clapping for others, it's such a good feeling, but then to clap for yourself, just what that does for your own body. So
always, it's so special. And I do another thing as well. Often they will give themselves a round of applause, a round of go, but also I will say, put one arm here, put one here, and I'll give yourselves a big hug for being just so fabulous.
Yeah. Love that. There are just so many ways and practical ways that you I think have introduced. What I love about everything that you've done, there's nothing that anybody needs apart from themselves and the children and the passion which you bring every day.
I think they just have to come with the enthusiasm to do all this, but they only are going to get that if the facilitator creates that.
Yeah. So another comment here is about the integration of vocabulary in movements. Would you like to elaborate on that?
So often we talk about words, and actually that's a wonderful workshop to do as well, is to take words and study the words and how that word makes you feel, etc., etc. And you can introduce new words. For example, the other day I introduced to them, I said to them something about visual. And I said, I realized that they weren't quite understanding what visual was. So we closed our eyes and we pretended to be a blind person. And then they went back, and they will never forget that word because they associated the word with an activity that they did in class.
Yeah, sure. It's amazing. The other idea that I was also thinking when you were talking about the envelope yesterday in one of our workshops, we spoke about using a box. And I suppose, I mean, when you said even thinking out of the box, it could be anything. It could be them opening their school bag, or it could be them opening something. What is inside? What left that creativity?
Even their
Yeah.
lunch boxes, even their lunch boxes. It's amazing what children do come out with. In fact, that's why I love teaching, because children just give me so much.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a couple of minutes. If there's anything else that you would like to share, I know you so passionate, so creative.
So I just, what you were saying is that you really don't need much to make a creative arts classwork. I took a piece of newspaper the other day, and I said to the learners, what could they do with it? They created all sorts of things. We woke up from our bed in the morning, we had our blanket, which was our piece of newspaper, and then we changed it into a toothbrush, and we brushed our teeth with the newspaper, and so the story developed. And all I had was some newspapers that were lying around, and it took up the whole class. It was great. So you can find your props they can be absolutely anything at all. Whatever you find, keys, amazing what they'll come out with just having keys. Really and truly, it's what they are wanting to offer from inside rather than what they have from outside.
Yeah. I think one of the things this morning when we were trying to getting ourselves organized, and we decided to do a jingle, and a few of our staff got together and a few of our panelists, and there we did a musical jingle. One of our teachers sang, and between a pair of earrings, a plastic bag, a drum that we made out of, it was just incredible that what we could do in less than no time. So
creating musical instruments.
Absolutely. And with the jingle as well.
Yeah.
So just lots of positivity, Rox. Lots of I don't know if there's anything as we wrap up. We still have, as I say, a few minutes. Please do ask some questions if you'd like to in the chat, because I can see them as Roxy and I are sitting here. Everybody's saying love your passion, so essential in this teaching role. So thank you for that, Kathy. Just the way your passion is evident, just the thank yous that are coming through. If you do have any questions, as I've mentioned, I'll put Roxy's email address in there again. She's more than happy to engage with you. And also we'll share the link as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, please do.
Yeah.
And I do want to thank Elvis Sabeko. He made the video for me. He literally came along and did this video and put all these lovely little inserts in. And I cannot wait to show to the children. That's the other thing. Video them doing things. They love it. They love reflecting and watching. They feel so chuffed with themselves.
So we do have a question here from how do you manage discipline in the classroom?
It's a strange thing. I think because I'm so energized, the kids pick up on me, and I never really have had a problem with discipline, because they just come into my space, I go into their space, and we just envelop each other. So I can't ever remember having to discipline a child in all my 40-something years of teaching.
I'm sure there are a lot of teachers that wish they were in your position. Another question here from Michelle is the activities will be more a challenge with 25 to 30 in my class. And I'm sure there's some teachers that are watching that even probably have more than that in their class. So how do you
I was very fortunate in that this was half the class that I had. The other class had gone to visual arts, and but this is normally a class of 30, and one does, it's the kind of thing that we did is very interactive, and I think that everybody just working, maybe just keeping them close to you and not letting them run wild like I did when they were 2-year-olds. But it is amazing how kids feed off each other. So if everybody is doing a activity, and they will all be interested in that activity, and then no matter how many numbers you have in the class, they will be one, really and truly. I think that if you find that you have a naughty child in the class or something that you can't cope with, bring them close to you. That's my thing. That just bring the naughty ones in, and it just flows. It really does flow. And I do think of all you teachers that have to have all those hundreds of children in your class.
So I'm just going to give you another couple of comments. Thank you for that, Rox. Also, you're just saying that your never-ending energy and enthusiasm is so motivating and inspiring. So thank you for this. Megan says here, thank you for making her feel more capable.
How wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah, and again, just thank you for do you have workshops that I can do? Somebody's asking here. Maybe we need an adult Roxy workshop.
I'm always happy to do whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
So on the in the chat, you can actually set up a community group. You can actually go in and maybe that's something, if there are a few of you together that you would like to get together and do something, maybe rally up a troop and then approach Roxy and say, we've got a whole lot of people that are keen to come and join you for an activity. So you can even throw in some aerobics while they're there, right? You can make it into an exercise session at the same time.
You'll all be doing the splits by the time you finish.
Yeah, so we will share that as well. But yeah, just lots and lots of thank yous and thank you for your energy. Anything that you'd like to end off with, right?
Just thank you for having me on the platform.
Yeah,
thank you.
No, grateful. We're so grateful. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up, and I just want to thank you on behalf of the Creative Arts. It's clear to see your energy, your passion. I mean, I loved watching those videos, and just what you bring to the children. It's so evident in everything that you do. And also just going back to Megan's thing, they're saying that how you make people feel capable. And what you've showed us today is that with zero, you can actually just bring so much to a classroom, so and to the children's lives, which is really, we're thankful for that. After this session, please go back to the main stage, look at your agenda, and then choose your next breakaway session. As I said, you can also go into the chat, use hashtag CAC 2024, and engage with us on social media. There's still some prizes to be won. We've got some lovely vouchers that we'd love to give away. And we all know teachers love vouchers. So we really would love to share that with you. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the conference. Don't forget to choose your next breakaway. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Roxy.